Coming up on the next episode of Zuzu All Grown Up.
The organization Share Your Souls proclaims we can't walk in their shoes, so let them walk in ours. Today you'll discover how your old shoes could make someone's life close to home or halfway around the world a much lighter journey. That's next on Zuzu All Grown Up.
Look, Daddy, teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
You're now listening to Zuzu All Grown Up.
She's been featured in more than 20 films from the early days of film and television.
He is a psychotherapist and her loving husband.
Together, they are on a mission to brighten your day and your life.
It's a time to smile, a time to laugh, a time to expect more.
It's time to get inspired with your hosts, Karolyn Grimes and Dr. Brunell.
It's time to meet Zuzu, all grown up.
Do you believe that life is wonderful in principle, but for some reason just isn't so consistently in practice? Every life will have its ups and downs. But have you ever thought that if there were only more people around you encouraging, uplifting, and even inspiring you, then life would be more fulfilling? If only people like George and Mary Bailey were in your inner circle, then life could truly be wonderful all the time? If so, we've got good news for you, because you can find such people on this podcast and at zuzunetwork.com. This podcast is the vision of Karolyn Grimes, Zuzu, and Dr. Brunell, illustrating how the timeless message of It's a Wonderful Life can be and is applied to our modern lives and situations. Indeed, when you take that message to heart, your life will become immeasurably more wonderful. Visit us at zuzunetwork.com and listen to this podcast series to learn more about how. Now sit back, relax, and get ready to enjoy another episode of Zuzu, All Grown Up.
Coming up next on today's show, we have Mona Purdy, the founder of Share Your Souls.
She has distributed more than 50 million pairs of shoes to over 20 countries and all 50 states. Isn't that exciting? I think it's going to be fun to talk to her.
That's impressive. Let's find out more.
Okay.
Get ready for miracles. Get ready for Zuzu. All Grown Up.
Today's guest is from the organization Share Your Souls. On their website, it says, "What if you can change the world for someone? You can, and when you do, the world changes for you. The simple truth is many people around the world cannot even afford a pair of shoes. Realizing this, Share Your Souls was born, but this is just the start of the story. Mona Purdy is here today to tell us about the fateful journey that has now provided shoes to countless thousands."
Hi, Mona.
Hello.
I'm Chris, and this is Carolyn.
Can you tell us a little bit about how and why you started this wonderful program?
I was going through a terrible divorce, and I found myself with 3 small children, 5, 3, and 18 months old, to finalize. But I realized in the neighborhood we were in, the kids with bullying and whatever, our lifestyle had changed quite a bit. So I wanted the kids to get involved with something that would raise them up instead of, are your Uggs real, and feeling like they were different. So I was an entrepreneur. I had a couple little businesses going that were great, and nothing really fit with the kids and I. So I went on a mission trip to Guatemala to kind of do something for my own mind and get some clarity. And on my trip home, I sat next to an orthopedic surgeon who I shared a story with. I entered a half marathon, and I was the only woman, the only Caucasian woman, and the only woman with running shoes on. 5 guys barefoot. One of the guys had a pair of mountain climbing boots on. And we ran a half marathon in a rainforest in the jungle. As we were running, I saw little kids that had hot tar on the soles of their feet. So I had my $100 pair of shoes on, and I had shared with this guy, how crazy that experience was. And he said he would not frequent Guatemala and other places like that if kids had shoes. He would not have to go down and treat their feet for injuries because, if you don't take care of your feet when you're younger, your hips get out of whack, your back gets out of whack, everything. So I came home, told my kids about it, and my youngest daughter came up with the name. So without us realizing it, we had started collecting shoes in my neighborhood from our church, the community, the school, and kids would come over after school and help us sort and box shoes. And I didn't think about how I was going to get them to Guatemala.
So that's when you started fundraising?
I didn't think I was going to have a problem just getting on a plane with thousands of shoes. And I called a friend of mine who was at the time Illinois Secretary of State, Jesse White, and he goes, let me make a call. He called American Airlines. I met them for lunch, and halfway through the lunch, they had the Kleenex out. So that was the first time. And I ended up having them as a sponsor for the 10 years following that day. And it truly changed the lives of these people that had never had shoes of their own.
It changed your life too.
And I thought my kids would be running this place. And now I'm going into my 25th year. And here I am. The kids have moved on, but here I am.
So how do you select, who gets those shoes?
After we kind of got through Honduras, or Guatemala, one of the nuns, this is funny, when she got her first batch of shoes, she's like, when are you coming back? And I go, oh, no, I did my thing. I'm going to go home and return to my life as it was. I got home and my driveway was full of boxes and bags of shoes. The nun suggested Honduras, a place called Tegucigalpa. So she gave me the name of family there. And then that was my next shipment. And then from Honduras, we just ended up just to other places, Haiti, Mexico, 40 locations in total.
Oh my gosh.
So tell us a little bit about your warehouse, where you warehouse these shoes.
Well, when we were working on my driveway and I was happy, I didn't want to become a nonprofit. I didn't want to do the red tape. 2 years into this, the police came to my house. And they gave me 2 citations. My house had become an eyesore and I had become a public nuisance. So it made headlines in the local paper, reporter named Phil Cadner, and he posted headlines, local woman does good and gets backlash from the community. So we got so much publicity from that. They put me on NPR, and all of a sudden I became like an overnight celebrity fighting for the poor. From that headlines, I met Kathy Sailors, who had an empty warehouse in my neighborhood. And she goes, hey, this warehouse is sitting. To start getting donations, we had to become a nonprofit. So Jesse White, of course, was my first board member. And then I snagged someone from American Airlines because they were part of this, and my adopted mother. So everything was good. American was flying me and my shoes and sometimes my kids to the barrios of these third world countries. And we were just doing the best to make the world a better place. Then it dawned on me, it's not about the shoes. It could have been pencils or backpacks or books. When I came back and the kids came, I found the storytelling. I would tell them just enough for a teaser, because if I tell them too much, they won't be curious to do something themselves. So I always left a little bit of information out. And then they were like, what if I did pencils, Miss Purdy? What if I did socks, Miss Purdy? I'm like, just do something kind for someone every day.
That's quite an encouraging thing.
There's so much need out there. How does that go about it?
When we went to Honduras and we got referrals for other needy locations, I had not heard of some of these places, and I couldn't believe I'm an adult and I don't know some of these countries. So we would do investigative work. We got our website. I became a 501, and then we would get emails from people living in other parts of like Africa, Central South America, and telling me all about themselves. Then I would figure out the logistics.
We'll join Karolyn and Chris in just a moment with more of Zuzu All Grown Up.
First, an important message.
Start your morning right with premium coffee roasts available at ZuzuNetwork.com and drink them in your Zuzu All Grown Up coffee mug. Also perfect for tea and hot chocolate.
Stay inspired throughout the day with the same gratitude journal used by Karolyn and Chris, and check out t-shirts, hats, books, Christmas keepsakes, and more at ZuzuNetwork.com/shop. Join Zuzu's network today at ZuzuNetwork.com/join. Karolyn is creating an international network of aspiring angels, everyday people who believe that they can help make the world a better place by making life better for even just one other person.
Let us know you want to earn your wings at zuzunetwork.com/join, and Karolyn and Chris will send you inspirational material to support you in your journey.
We're back with more Zuzu All Grown Up.
Well, I've been getting donated warehouses forever. And then I'm getting too old to pack up a 100,000 square foot warehouse. So several years ago, my father and I bought for the charity out of our savings building that the charity operates out of now. So we have our own home. But like Kenya, someone contacted me that the Maasai need shoes because the shoes that they're wearing are plastic and they damage their feet. They cause a lot of mold under the toenails and they get infected. That ends up in amputation or sepsis. We got that connection. And then I found out soccer cleats were in these countries where kids play soccer. Here we're thinking it's great that they're connecting with the earth, but I didn't know about the jiggers and the soil, and I didn't know about the thorns that they step on. Soccer cleats became a big deal for us. And in Central and South America, a lot of these Catholic schools to this day don't let kids go to school unless they have black school shoes to go with their uniform. And I didn't know that in parts of Mexico, when they have torrential rain, as they do in Haiti, that because of no sanitation, no sewage, no running water, people walk in sewage all day long when they have a 3-day rain. So then we started sending the Welly rain boots. Every shipment is specific to the needs of what the people need and want. So a group came in from the Philippines and they want shoes for under the viaducts for the homeless. So I'm showing them all these fancy gym shoes and school shoes. And the woman was like, you don't understand. It's 95 degrees in the shade. We want the rubber flip-flops.
So you have provided 5 million pairs of shoes over 20 countries.
40 locations in our 25 years.
Oh my goodness.
Do you have certain locations that you go back to?
Well, Haiti was my baby for a long time until I kept getting sick there. I mean, I ended up in the hospital there a couple of times. I got a really messed up immune system. And so I backed off from Haiti. In Uganda, they take the largest amount of refugees that come from Sudan, Burundi, Somalia, Ethiopia, Congo. And they arrive with nothing. Maybe a baby on the back, no shoes. And they come to a place and they give them a little patch of land, a sack of rice, and that's their home. So we built a library there several years ago because, again, it's not about the shoes. It's what the community needs. And this adopted mom of mine had passed away and she had left me some money. And I was thinking, my kids are going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. These kids could use the library. So we built the library and then a little guest house next to it. And now teachers are living in it. But by opening up that location, we can serve all of those African countries because they'll come to me. I won't have to go to them and risk my health and safety and all that.
So I noticed that you have T-shirts that on the back of them, they have a heart and there's a pair of shoes, feet.
They're my grandson who's 8. But when he was a baby, my daughter came up with that design. And all of my kids have worked with me throughout the years and they still support our little fundraising events and things that we have. During COVID, I asked God, I go, like, am I supposed to do something else? Because mentoring the kids that come to volunteer with me is as important to me as the kids getting shoes. And when the kids come in to volunteer with me and I tell them, you are making a difference in someone's life that you are never going to know, meet, or see. But my gift when you leave here is that you take a piece of what you felt with you and you keep it forever. That feeling when you've done something good, because it really doesn't leave us. You know, when you open a door for a senior, no one knows you've done it, but you know that you've done something kind. When the kids leave, I know they're enlightened. I know they feel great about themselves. That's a big part of our mission because they need to be taught to do things for others. And in doing things for others, they do for themselves. It feels good to be nice.
Well, how many times a year do you ship shoes?
Well, American was great when they were flying the shoes, but we were doing small amounts. And there's always the people that are standing there in line waiting to be one of the hopefuls. And we also do disaster relief. So when Katrina hit, we were there. When that tsunami hit, we were in Sri Lanka. And I brought a bunch of toothbrushes with me. And I was asking the kids, we had pink, yellow, and blue. and they wouldn't take a toothbrush. And I said to my guy, don't they brush their teeth here? And he goes, they have never been asked what they would like. They're just very grateful. I meet people and they go, so what do you do? Like, you work for a nonprofit? And I'm like, well, there's nothing glamorous about it, but it's very necessary for most of the places I go. The kids don't go to school and they don't have buses and carpools and public transportation to get miles away to get food for their families. So they need these shoes. The shoes aren't just lifestyle choice, they're necessary. I was telling you after COVID, I wasn't sure. And then the strangest thing happened.
We'll join Karolyn and Chris in just a moment with more of Zuzu All Grown Up.
First, an important message.
To find out more about the organization featured in today's episode or a previous episode and to learn more about how you can help, go to zuzunetwork.com/beanangel.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk, a message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Have you heard? Affordable healthcare is better than ever. And right now there are more carriers and plans to choose from. If you're between 18 and 64 years old with a household income of $25,000 or less, this message is for you. Right now, the government's Affordable Care Act is available for individual and family health coverage plans with little to no cost to you. Don't gamble your health. Call Health Care for All. 70% of callers qualify for a zero-cost healthcare coverage. See if you are one of them. Call now. Our agents are standing by to help you get the health insurance plan you and your family needs and deserves. If you're uninsured or struggling to afford your current health insurance, help is just a phone call away. This is not Medicaid or Medicare. This is the marketplace with the largest selection of healthcare plans from the Affordable Care Act. To find a plan that's right for you, call 800-788-2406. That's 800-788-2406.
A careless driver can change your life in an instant. Do you know what to do or who to call? If you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident and don't have an attorney, call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free consultation. We can answer all of your questions and estimate the potential value of your case. Call Auto Accident Help Desk and connect with an expert personal injury attorney.
Call 800-348-7312. 800-348-7312.
Don't worry how to handle your medical bills, lost wages, and pain. We will get you the money you deserve.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
The consultation is free, and you don't pay any legal fees unless we win or settle your case. Make the smart call if you've been injured in an auto accident. Call Auto Accident Help Desk for a free legal consultation.
Call 800-348-7312. 800-348-7312. 800-348-7312.
Auto Accident Help Desk.
Zuzu's book club features recommendations from Zuzu herself on books she loves and thinks you will love also. All of the books that the club reads, fiction and nonfiction, are inspirational and uplifting. Folks, this is a life-enhancing club to be part of. You can sign up for free at zuzunetwork.com/book club. That's zuzunetwork.com/book club.
This is Zuzu, all grown up.
We don't even promote this charity. We need funding desperately to keep our doors open. Amazon contacted me and they go, we were looking at shoe charities and we like you're very transparent and they're humble. And so we would like to do a nationwide shoe drive and give you all the shoes. And we're including Canada. My building, the first container is full. It's a 52-foot trailer with 148 Gaylords full of shoes. Wow, I don't have any shoes. And now the cavalry's arriving with shoes.
How has it affected you personally?
I know doing this has made me a better person. My kids like me better, I think. I think I was unaware of what a good day is. Every morning I wake up, I have a good day. I already know I'm going to have a good day. Like I just got back from the Amazon. We worked with a lot of the local medicine men, and this young girl got bit by a piranha and The American doctors I with were all panicked to get their bag. So we arrived and the medicine man had it all under control. He used spider webs and he tapped into a tree called the dragon's blood tree, and it's an antiseptic, and everything was fine. One of the nurses had that piranha for dinner. There are really no problems. Unless someone dies, there are really no problems. There are just little bumps in our road. So in Honduras, which I'm going back to, this little boy, they're snooping around, and he sees the soccer cleats. So I sit him down and he doesn't know me. He just know, I don't think he's ever seen like a Caucasian person.
Mm-hmm.
So he puts the shoes on, I tie him. And the next thing I know, he gets up and I went to go get my camera out and he ran away. I don't know if he thought I was going to keep him or take the shoes back or what, but he ran so fast. I just saw like a little blur on the horizon. Friends were just cracking up. It was just priceless.
The name of your charity, Share Your Souls.
Share, SHAREYOUR, and it's Souls, SOLES.
You're located in Pullman, Illinois.
In, Chicago. Pullman is the George C. Pullman community that he built when he was building the sleeper cars. So we are blessed to be in that historic landmark horse and livery stable.
It had its start May the 20th, 1880. So she's really in a historical building.
So what does it mean to you knowing that you've changed the lives of so many people?
The people, like my translator will say, like the parents come up to me after their kids got shoes. And then all of a sudden the old grandma or grandpa comes hobbling out and then he'll get shoes. And the daughter will cry and she'll go, he never had his own shoes before.
Oh my gosh.
And I think that hits me just as much as the kids when the seniors get their shoes. And then everyone in the village, like the senior will walk around and everyone applaud just like they got an Oscar. I don't think I'll retire, and I cannot get old not being purposeful. I'm like you guys. Why we're all doing this because we're supposed to.
It's like a duck in water.
So can you tell us maybe one person or people that were involved when they got the shoes that stands out in your mind?
Doctors that went with me, they were doing all these procedures and stuff. So one day we had like a down day and they went with me and they told me their best takeaway from the whole trip, all of their experiences, was serving the less fortunate with shoes. Because these people had great experiences. They were saving lives. Mm-hmm. But to give a smile and a heartwarming hug, give it and get it from these people was better than a Hallmark card. Priceless. Every trip is amazing. Every next trip is better than the last. I have some really big news. After COVID, again, I praying, constantly. The Amazon thing happened and then you happened. I get a call from the Denton program. They work with Night Flight. They fly medical equipment and supplies to underdeveloped countries wherever there's a military base all over the world. And we have just made a partnership with them. So talk about angels' wings. We have them. Literally, we have them.
That's amazing. It seems like you're never alone. You must have some incredible angels that you surround you and follow you and take you and are always there with your journey.
I would like to write a big grant and get us some money so that I can keep our doors open.
For a donation or learn more information about how they can assist you, how can people reach you?
Info at shareyoursoles.org, O-R-G, or call us 708-448-4469. 708-448-4469. Website is shareyoursouls.org.
There's so much need in this world, and thank you so much for what you've been doing.
We're helping make people's lives more wonderful.
That's the plan.
We hope the angels will watch over you forever, my dear.
A special thanks to today's truly inspirational guest, Mona Purdy, and of course, thank you, Karolyn and Dr. Chris. Dear audience, Share Your Souls is not asking that much from you, but it would mean the world to someone. Go to their website at www.shareyoursouls.org. That's www.shareyoursouls.org. And remember, that is SOLES. and discover how you can donate lightly worn shoes or host a shoe drive in your community, as well as volunteer. This is one we can all do, folks. They aren't asking for your money, just the shoes in the back of your closet. You can bring a smile to the face of someone you'll never meet in a place far away you'll likely never go. It's so easy. Please consider it. This is Zuzu, all grown up.
Do you know someone who is earning their wings? Someone practicing kindness and service to others? Perhaps an organization or initiative helping make the world we live in a kinder, sweeter place.
Or maybe you've witnessed the miraculous, the divine, the magnificent in some way in your life, and you'd like to share it with others. Go to zuzunetwork.com/tellmystory and let us know more.
You may end up being featured on an upcoming episode of Zuzu All Grown Up. That's zuzunetwork.com/tellmystory. Now here's Seth Kennedy with today's parting thoughts.
There are many people around the world who would love to have your problems, your issues, and struggles, as tough as they may be. Lonely people who would not mind the problems your family brings. Impoverished people who would be blessed by your food. Struggling people who would be delighted by your broken car and your broken phone. Homeless people who would be in heaven at your house. People want to walk in your shoes metaphorically and literally. Remember that and consider making your lightly worn shoes available to today's guest. Share your souls. I'm Seth Kennedy, and I hope today's episode has made a footprint on your heart. You've been listening to Zuzu, all grown up.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Zuzu All Grown Up.
We hope you've been inspired to live your most wonderful life now and to help those around you do the same.
Remember, no matter what you're going through, no matter who you are, there are people who care about you, and your life makes a difference.
It is a wonderful life.
Check out zuzunetwork.com for more on today's and other episodes, including transcripts and merchandise you won't want to be without.
New episodes are coming soon.
For transcripts of today's broadcast, go to zuzunetwork.com/transcripts.
Watch a video clip of today's episode at www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up. That's www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up. Then click on the Reels tab from the top of the center of the page. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up. That's www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up. Catch up on past episodes and discover currently premiering and upcoming episodes as well, and get helpful links and exclusive clips from our recordings. That's www.instagram.com/Zuzu, all grown up.
Zuzu All Grown Up with your hosts Karolyn Grimes and Dr. Chris Brunell.
Announcer and guide Seth Kennedy.
Executive producer Kevin R. Stillmock.
Coordinating producer Holly Ann Way.
Technical producer Stella Joel.
Managing producer Karina Filatova. A Wonderful Land production.
In collaboration with Radio Wonderful.